Hi, I'm Nirensimt, and I'm being interviewed by Schaden Collective. Nirensimt started about 15 years ago as a project in my basement, born out of all of my musical musings as I was getting better at drums, as I was learning guitar, as I was exploring things. I heard Talk by Sigur Rós for the first time, and it totally changed my world in terms of opening up the possibilities of things that seemed achievable for me. Um, but also, I was a teenager, so when I started Nirensimt, my big dream was fame, fortune, and notoriety on the world stage. Hasn't quite turned out that way yet, but I don't think I would be where I am without starting out with those kinds of lofty ambitions. Yes, absolutely. I tend to focus a lot on the majesty and mystery of the universe, um, both as seen right here on Earth and what we can sort of see but mostly imagine about the cosmos at large, the wide sweeping spaces, the colors of nebulas, and all of those kinds of grand sweeping things. And I also tend to talk about mental health quite a bit, and I end up weaving those topics together a lot to form a commentary on the human condition. So my only real goal with Nirensimt is to make art that fulfills me as a musician, as a writer, as a visual artist. I don't try to set lofty goals for myself, largely because of a personal fear and avoidance of any perception of failure, but also because I think it's a lot more fun when it just takes me where it wants to. Where I don't necessarily try too hard to make it any one thing and just use it as the vehicle for self expression that my soul needs. Being independent has really allowed me to have the flexibility that I need to create on my own terms. I'm not beholden to making an album a year. I'm not under anyone's thumb for any kind of production quota. Um, Nothing that would end up with me just churning out essentially content that doesn't fulfill me or describe me as a person and an artist. Being independent has really allowed me to choose my own pace. Right now, I'm including Nirensimt doing 3 bands. So that takes up a lot of time and energy, and I have to make sure that I don't burn myself out every time. And so Nirensimt being independent allows me to put it on the back burner sometimes if I need to, or just work on it when I need that kind of fulfillment in my life. Promoting is absolutely the worst part, bar none. There's just not enough time in the day for one person to create all of the promotional materials that a modern artist needs. You need reels for Instagram, you need videos for YouTube, you need TikTok things, you need splash screens and interviews, and I can't even describe all of the things that modern bands are doing to just stand out a little bit in this current climate, and it's just not feasible for me as one person to do it all by myself. You know, I participate in interviews when I can, like this one, and that has helped a lot. But the rest of the time, it's just me doing stuff on my own. I can't brainstorm video ideas for 10 hours a day and then spend another 10 hours making them and then spend another 10 hours figuring out what the perfect time of day is to schedule all of them. It's really hard just to find an audience. So yeah, that's definitely one part where I struggle a lot. This has absolutely always been a passion project. I said at the very beginning that a dream of mine was worldwide fame and notoriety, and of course, as a teenager that dream came with money, but I've lost thousands of dollars on Nirensimt up to this point, and I have really come to terms with the fact that this is a passion project that I do because it's valuable to me internally, and that I will probably never see any real money from it at all. Yes, absolutely. The Earth Reclaims the Stone from my last full-length album, Ecstasy Agony, touches on this quite a bit, with perhaps some veiled imagery about it, but the first section describes coming to terms with yourself, of looking inside yourself and having a whole discussion about who you are. If that lines up with the way you are presenting externally or not. And how does the line go? Forge a new self in that knowledge. So, I talk about the concept of taking the result of that introspection and remaking it into yourself as the person that you want to be and are trying to become. It's incredibly important to me as somebody who has gone through their own journey trying to understand my gender and my sexuality and my place in the spectrum of things. And I think that music can be a very powerful tool to help work out a lot of those emotions and to communicate to listeners the beautiful and incredible accessibility of that experience. An unequivocal yes. My biggest 5-year goal for Nirensimt, as I've been reflecting on it lately, is I really want to see someone in the wild, out and about, that I don't know wearing my merch. That's like one of my biggest dreams as a creator, is to come across someone that my art has touched and impacted, that I didn't have to hound to do it. I am also considering trying to put together a live band, because it would be just so fun and cathartic to play some of these songs live for people. So my lyrics are always informed by the music. The music comes first, and I write lyrics both rhythmically and poetically that suit the music itself. They're a vehicle for additional forms of musicality. The rhythm that gets used, is that the same as an existing rhythm in the song, or am I using the vocals as sort of a counterpoint to the existing rhythms? But when crafting the lyrics themselves, I'm always trying to get a deeper meaning. I really relish writing things that I hope stay with people after they hear them and make you ponder your place in that little corner of the majesty of the universe. I mean, there's always the dream of doing things with some of your musical heroes. Alcest, Unrequited, people like that who have been making the music that shaped this project. But more concretely, next year I am going to be doing a split with a couple of artists that I think all of you are really going to like. So stay tuned for that. I have my stuff available on Ampwall, Bandcamp, streaming platforms everywhere, and if you want that all kind of condensed into one place, you can check out my Linktree link. I keep all of that organized there so you can find whatever you need when you need it. Thanks for watching. I've been Nirensimt. Support the underground, and stay tuned for more Schaden Collective.